want to take as much money as they can away from me. I think we're going to fine him $450 million. Let's give him a fine. You know, usually get a $500 fine. I get a $500 million fine. These people are sick. They're all part of weaponization and can't be allowed to have. But I said, what are you talking about? We have, sir, a large group, and we're ready to extinguish them. We're ready to send them to hell. I said, we're talking about human beings, you know, not even. She's laughing. We're talking about human beings. No, they're not human. Sir, these are animals. These are animals. I said, well, maybe if you fly over with those incredible bunkers, greatest planes in the world, maybe you'll shake them up a little bit and they'll surrender soon. They don't know what a white flag is. I remember that. They don't know about surrender. Sir. They're horrible, horrible people, but they are brave. They're not going to be surrendered. Well, let's try it. 2 days. Fly over and back and forth, low as hell. No, we got a couple of bullet holes in our planes. We're doing it wrong. Just give it a shot. Get a call back to Israel. Sir, they're not going to surrender. We've been doing it now for 2 days. Back and forth. Back. The order says we got the order. Thank you, sir. A day later, I get a call. We are defeated 100%. Isn't that a great story? Right, Mike? 100% righteous.
How long have you been going for?
100% righteous. Doing stories like that, probably I won't get the best speaker this year because I would overstate the telephone. So it was an amazing thing, and I learned so much. I tell that story sometimes rarely because it's a rough story. But I tell it because you have to know what a great military we have if we let them do their job. And I equate it with our police and law enforcement people. We have the greatest law enforcement people in the world, but they're not allowed to do their job. It's a civil sector. Chicago could be solved in 1 day. New York could be solved in a half a day. New York police, I grew up with them, they're the greatest people. A lot of them have left and they've gone down to other states, so they retired. But they're great people. And they can do their job if they're allowed to do their job, but they don't want to lose their pension. They don't want to lose everything. When you see these department stores where 300, 400, usually kids walk in there with the masks on and rob the store, destroy the store, millions of dollars, then the store closes, the whole thing starts to collapse, the city. I could solve that problem in 1 day, in 1 hour, in 1 minute. When the word got out, we took very tough action. When kids walk out with television sets, a brand new, beautiful $2,000 television sets, so they're walking out, and the police are told, stand down, don't do anything. If the police would be allowed to do their job, and they would do it really strongly, it would end, that whole phenomenon would end immediately. It would never happen again. We don't even have to do it in every city. All you have to do is do it. And that's why I'm giving immunity to the police so that they stop crime. Because they don't want to lose their wife, their family, their pension, their house. So when I quote the military story, and I talk about what they did and how we defeated ISIS, it's the same exact thing for the police. We have the greatest police. They could stop it in Los Angeles, they could stop it in New York, they could stop it in Chicago, they could stop it everywhere. But they're not allowed to do their job, and if they do their job, they lose everything. They lose their pensions, their house, they lose their family. We're not going to let that happen anymore because our city's all run by Democrats, radical left Democrats for the most part, Democrats. It's a cesspool. It's a cesspool. Okay, now we go back to one little final story that I So as you remember, the president of Mexico sent the representative. See, they'll say, He rambled. He's cognitively impaired. No, it's really the opposite. It's total genius, you know. These papers up there, he rambled on endlessly, telling these horrible and very boring stories. No, they're very informative stories. They're very important stories, actually. No, there's no cognitive problem. If there was, I'd know about it. In fact, if there was, you'll be the first to know, because I will tell you. I will tell you. But, so what happens is I'm talking to the gentleman, and he's very confident. And I said, "No, you're going to do it, you're going to do it." And he thought this was a weird conversation, because he kept saying, "No." I said, "No, you're going to do it." He said, "Don't even think about it." I said, "No." I said, "No." How many times do I have to say no? I said, "Say yes." He said, "Here's what I'm doing. It's Friday evening, starting Monday morning at 7 o'clock. Mexico is going to pay a tariff of 25% on all of the cars that you stole from our country, by the way. You know, they stole 32% of our manufacturing. Whereas the United Auto Workers are going to vote for me, all those people, because that deal they made with China. All electric cars. The all-electric mandate. Everybody has to have an electric car, which doesn't go far. Got a couple of problems. Doesn't go far, doesn't work in cold weather, remember? 4 weeks ago, I won in the largest margin times 2 history in Iowa. And it was 40 degrees below zero on election night. 40 degrees. This was serious cold. If I walk from here to here, let's say that's 5 yards. I was freezing my ass off by the time. This was so cold. You never saw so many electric cars pulled over to the side of the road. You could have had any one of them. I don't know what the hell the people did. I guess they saved them in some way. But no, they don't go for it. And these are the people we have making decisions. You know, we want to have everything. We want to have choice. Like in school, we want to have choice. And with cars, we want to have choice. Right? So I said, I'm going to sign this document, and at 7 o'clock on Monday morning, everything, including cars. And by the way, Mexico is our #1 trading partner. Who the hell knew that? Can you imagine? Mexico is our biggest trading partner. And you know why? Because I put so many tariffs on China that they really had to pull back. And we saved a lot of businesses. We saved the steel industry because Mexico is our biggest trading partner. I said, you're going to pay 25% tax or tariff, call it whatever you want. It's similar, but not actually. And you're going to pay it on every single thing that comes in from Mexico into the United States. And like every other country, they rip us off. We don't have any big deals. I change the South Korea, I change it. I could sit down and do nothing but change deals. I said, who the hell negotiated for the United States? And then you wonder why we have a $2 trillion deficit. If you look at it now, it's gotten to a level that nobody can even believe. It's so bad and we're going to. But I said, that's what's going to happen. And that's going to be a hell of a lot more than 28,000 soldiers. And I'm okay with it. But I'm ready to sign it. You just tell me when to sign it. Sir, may I, now he's doing it. He was a very confident man just moments. Now he's grabbing his gun. He's pulling it up. Sir, may I call our president? Absolutely. Please give him my warmest regard. And he said, will you make it quick? I'm late. I got the Russia helps. I gotta take care of that hoax. So make it quick on how much time. Think of what I could have done if I didn't have to go through all that bullshit, right? Think of how good I was. So he comes back in 5 minutes and he said, sir, I'm pleased to tell you that it would be our great honor to supply you with 28,000 soldiers to Israel. It would be our great honor to adhere to your request for remain in Mexico. Millions of people can stay in our country. You ever see what happened to Tijuana? It was like people, they had no earth left. It was the earth that became, I think it was the fastest growing city in history. Tijuana. Nice place. But I said, what about catching and releasing Mexico? Yes, sir, we'd love to have you release people that you catch. We think it would be a wonderful thing for our country, sir. We would love it. Sir, you can do whatever the heck you want. And we got everything. And then this fool, this stupid fool, released Mexico of all of these obligations.
That's right.
And then last week, for the first time, I can't even believe it, I heard Mexico saying we're not going to negotiate with the United States unless they give us $10 billion. These are stupid people. How about the hostages? The hostages with Iran? The hostages. We gave Iran $6 billion for $6 billion for 5 people. A hiker. You know, a hiker goes over and says, oh, look, there's Iran. Let's go hiking. We give up $1 billion to the hiker. Then we gave $10 billion because they supplied some electricity to Iraq. What the hell do we care if they supplied to Iraq? Iraq. Should have never remember. I used to say a long time ago, don't go into Iraq. Don't do it! But I was only a civilian, so I didn't get that much press. I said, don't go into Iraq, but if you're going to do it, keep the oil. Do you remember I used to say that all the time? Keep the oil, but don't do it, but keep the oil. Iraq now has $300 billion. Iran has $224 billion. And Iran controls 100% Iraq. So for years they fight each other, and they were the same. For years and years under different names. But religious thing. But they would fight each other for years, and they were the two powers. And they were checkmating each other. So they'd fight and fight and fight 4 or 5 years. They'd throw a little gas, they'd throw another one, they'd throw another, and then all of a sudden, and then go back, and the border basically remained untouched. This has been going on for centuries. And then we come along and we blow up one of the sites. We blow up Iraq. And now Iran is taking over Iraq. So Iran, they might as well change the name. So Iran has their 200 and some odd billion dollars that they all made in 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I told China, and I told all of the countries, France, everybody. I said, listen, if you buy 1 barrel of oil from Iran, we're not going to do any business. We're going cold turkey. It wouldn't have been a bad thing. You know, we're going cold turkey. We're not going to do it. And we're going to put a 100% tariff on anything that gets through. And President Xi, I told him this. He said, all right, well, we won't do it. We won't do it. They didn't buy it. By the way, they're buying billions and billions of dollars worth of oil right now. But China didn't buy. Nobody bought. Iran was broke. And they had no money for Hamas. And they had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for anything. They were down to almost nothing. And there were a lot of stories that Iran was unable, and all these terror groups were angry at Iran because they weren't paying them. And the terror groups were all breaking out. If I were president, Israel would have never been attacked. It would have never been attacked. As soon as I was forced out with a rigged election, we can never let that happen again. Don't let it happen again. Don't let it happen again. As soon as I was forced out with this rigged election, Biden took the sanctions off. Iran went back to levels that they've never seen before, more than they've ever done. And now they're rich as hell. They're selling oil to everybody. They're making so much money they don't know what to do. They're a very rich nation. With me, they were broke. They were broke. I remember a Democrat congressman on Deface the Nation a couple of weeks. I think it was Deface the Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Donald Trump on Deface the Nation. He must deface the nation because the news is so fake. But he was saying that, well, whether you like Trump or not, he did break Iran. They were broke. They had no money. He said, that's nice of him. He probably, lost his chairmanship or whatever he was. But we did a great job. We did a great job. So what happened is Mexico agreed to all of these things. We took the money out of the military. We built the wall. We had the safest border in the history of our country. The history of our country. And you know, it's very interesting because we built the wall, but a lot of people were coming up at the beginning. Once they saw that I meant business, once they heard some of these stories that I'm telling you right now, they didn't come. They weren't coming. The caravans were much smaller. The people trying to get in was a much easier situation to handle. When you have an idiot like Gavin Newsom saying, if you come up, we're going to give you pension funds, you're going to have pensions, we'll give you a mansion. You ever see the things that he's promising? Free health care, free education. Who the hell wouldn't? I may move there myself. No, but people all over the world are hearing this. That California, look, a lot of people think Gavin Newsom is going to run. In a certain way, I hope so. I hope so. Because he's destroyed California. He's destroyed it. And he's got a hell of a line of crap. I watched him on Sean Hannity. He's a good man, Sean. Sean, we love you very much, Sean. We're happy to be watching. But you will. But he was on Sean Hannity, and he was saying, no, California's never done better, blah, blah, blah. We got to do this, we're doing that, we're doing that. I'm saying, wait a minute, the place is failing. They don't have water. They notified people in Beverly Hills you can only use 40 gallons of water. They don't have water. By the way, they could have so much water. I had it all set. All of the federal government approvals were done. All they had to do is sign a little piece of paper. And I won't let them get away with that again. Because they had to sign one piece of paper, and water would be pouring down from up north. Pouring down from Canada. And, it comes down, the artificial veins, and the natural veins where the water poured down. They take this water and they send it out to the Pacific, way above California. They send the water out to the Pacific to protect the little tiny fish. And people don't have water, and the farmland is barren. It's the best land there is in the whole country. They can't farm it because they have no water. And it's true. In Beverly Hills, if they have fortune in taxes, they say you can only brush your teeth once a day. Who the hell wants to be? You can't use too much water on your hair. That would put me out.
Nasty
They put
Newsom.
restrictors on showers. They put restrictors on faucets. You buy brand new faucets. Aren't they beautiful, darling? Oh yes, look at them beautiful brass faucets. They're so beautiful. Let's try them. Oh, shit, no water's coming out. Right. So you turn on the shower. I'm going to take a shower tonight. My hair's going to be better than it ever was. I get that home deal ready. I'm all set to go. Turn on the shower. Ding. And they have so much water. I said to some of our great congressmen that asked me to help them with the problem up in that area, up north in California. I said, I see you have a drought. I said, no, we don't have a drought. We have so much water, you don't know what to do. But they send it out to the Pacific. We're not going to let them get away with that any longer. It's ridiculous. And frankly, I believe, I gave a speech up there, like 100,000 people show up. I said, what the hell is going on over here? I always hear Republicans can't win. California, you can't win. I will tell you, if God came down and God was the vote checker, I believe we would win California. I think it's so close. They say
God to
that
count the vote.
$36 million gets sent out to people unknown. They're sent out all over the place. How many people from California know people that got 6, 7, 8 ballots, okay? Our elections are so corrupt. I think we do very well. I think I would do very well in California, actually. And I think I would do well in a lot of places because it's common sense. Remember, not conservative, it's common sense. I'm conservative, but the words are common sense. Our country is run by people that are destroying it. We're not going to let it happen again. We're going to have a great military. We're going to have a great, everything in our country is going to function properly again. It's going to function well. We're going to be respected all over the world. We're going to be respected like we've never been respected before. And it won't take long. It's like Orban said, I'm hungry. Put Trump back in, and the whole world is going to be fixed. He said that very strongly. Put Trump back in. What are you doing? They said, what do you do, sir? What do you do? The world is blowing up. He said, it's a very simple solution. Put President Trump back in office, and we'll all be healed very, very quickly. So I want to apologize for literally not repeating this beautiful speech. But I thought some of these stories are instructive because they tell you our military is great, they tell you our law enforcement is great, they tell you our president is incompetent, they tell you a lot of things, some of which you knew and some of which you didn't know. So now I'm going to the place I'm supposed to be. I'm going to South Carolina. I'm supposed to be there. And if I do poorly, I'm going to blame Mercedes. Forget about that. I'm going to blame Mercedes. Because I am supposed to be there and I'm not there. And if I do poorly, I'm blaming everybody in this audience. But I think I'm going to do okay. And I just want to thank everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you from a beautiful place called South Carolina, go out and vote right now, please. Get in those cars and drive fast. I'm going to leave you with this one final message. We're going to win the election. We're going to win it big. We're going to win it bigger than ever before. We're going to do things that nobody believed. It's going to be more important even than 2016. We are going to make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much.